Lady Luna starts off in the sign of Aquarius, and by 6:46 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, she will be void of course until she enters the sign of Pisces at 8:47 a.m. on the 6th. Then by the 8th, she will be void of course at 7:10 a.m. as she gets ready to enter in the zodiac sign of Aries at 11:57 a.m. She's getting ready to have the Aries full moon on the 9th at 4:55 p.m. Then on the 10th, Lady Luna will go void of course at 10:02 a.m. as she gets ready to enter in the sign of Taurus at 5:04 p.m. that day. Then on the 12th, she will be void of course at 5:42 p.m. as she gets ready to enter in the sign of Pisces on the 13th.
Merry meet and welcome to the AstroTarot Show. I am your celestial host, Serona Rose, and we've got a lot to talk about this week. I will back us up and give us a little refresher of what the energy presently is coming into this week, and we'll go into some more developing energetic influences that will be happening. Now, as I have stated before, the last few months of this year are going to be very powerful months, and we can look at October and November as being the crescendo of this year, of this energy. There are some placements that are still happening, or some aspects, I should say, that are still happening that are really, really intensifying the energy. There is an ongoing square between Uranus and Saturn. And that is, Saturn is about control and Uranus isn't. So this is about a conservative way opposing the liberal way. And this is a big tug of war. Jupiter is in between this, and he's still trying to buffer that. But we do have a lot of different things that are going on, and a lot of aspects that will be a challenge for this energy to calm down. The thing of it is that we do have to remember that we are in a new age, and with that new age comes change. I always like to say that ahead of time, because a lot of people get really freaked out over things, but this is a part of change. If we want change, we have to expect the chaos that does come with it. Whether saying it's good or bad is not what I'm doing. It is being that observer and seeing what's happening, seeing the bigger picture. So there is big change energy that is happening, and there is a lot of scattered energy. So before we go any further, I want to do a recap a little bit and start us off with the energy that we had coming into this week. On the 2nd of October, Mercury stationed and presumed his direct motion. Mercury is in Virgo, so understand that he is still in his shadow, meaning he's going back over the degrees that he just came over. And what is going on, what this shadow means is that the shadow represents the degree. You look at the degree at where Mercury is, and then go back to the degree that he stops and goes direct. So when he's going back over that time, that's a shadow, that period. So he'll go forward, back, and forward over those degrees. I hope you understood that. So that's a shadow time, and his energy is still rippling. So remember to please pay attention to that. Just be conscious. Just double check. On the 10th, he will move back into Libra, which is more of a balancing energy. that will help, level out some of the intense energy that is going on. It'll bring him back into the place of harmony. Now, this is a place where information is fair, meaning what is good for one is good for the other. So this is wanting a balance, wanting what is fair for all. So not just a select people, whereas Virgo is practical. It's practical, just get things done and over with. Libra wants to bring that harmony, that peace, and that balance back. So that's really good. That's a really good energy we need. And Mercury is, talk about Mercury a little bit. Mercury is our messenger, and he is the one that is said to bring messages from the gods. He also is pictured at having little wings on his shoes, and that means he's very swift, he's very quick, and he is said to help us understand life. This is about information. So he is Mercury is considered the planet of intelligence. So, and again, he's associated with speed and agility. So he is, his province is communication, it's commerce, and it's things that require skill as well as dexterity. Also, he was said to be the inventor of math as well as astronomy and music. So that's very important when you consider this planet. You consider those different methods of communication. And these are vibration. A communication is a vibration. It's that energetic, the words, words that you say, that is a vibration that we keep. So in the Roman times, he was also considered a trickster god, and he was known as the god of thieves. Now, when we see trickster god, or when I see trickster god, I look deeper than, oh, he just likes to play practical jokes and that sort of thing. But trickster gods are there to help you grow and help you develop. They're almost like an initiation, meaning they're going to challenge you. You will be challenged on your word. You will be challenged on, your skill, that sort of thing. You have to, he puts you in that place of having to prove yourself. But it's not really proving yourself to others. It is proving yourself to yourself. Because again, we are our biggest enemies. We get in our way so many times and don't even realize that. So I do feel that this is an energy of looking at him that way. He can be initiator. He is the god of communication. So he brings understanding, and he brings us clarity. And that may change our lives completely. So, everybody wants the truth until they get the truth. And then when they get the truth, they're in a state of panic. We have to always be careful what we ask for. Because, when we set that intention, if we want to be energy workers, we have to really be energy workers. We have to understand that when we set that intention, when we speak it forward, that it is going to go forward. It is going to be, that intent is behind it. We put the energy there to push it. It's like just pushing a boat, out. But intention is putting it into a tunnel and pushing it as it goes a certain way. But anyway, he is a trickster of sorts. He challenges us with our own intelligence. So, he's getting us to prove ourselves to ourselves, to, we take our, we really underestimate ourselves. I think that's more of the word. We can underestimate ourselves a lot. Even myself, it's like, well, I know a little bit, and when I start talking, it's like, wow, I really know more than I thought I did. And I'm not bragging. This is, a lot of us do this. We're like, I know a little bit. I know little about little, right? And that's true. We don't all know everything, but he challenges us to prove ourselves to ourselves, to show that, we do have this. We are ready for this next step, because that's what the initiation is. The initiation is about going forward and stepping up to, a higher level, a higher frequency. And many times there are people that are placed in positions that they really do not need to be in, because they're not ready for that level of commitment, for that level of energy. And that's not saying that's good or bad. That's just, it's reality. And we shouldn't be so hung up on that egoic side of, oh, this looks bad, of just get them out of there before they really mess everything up and, understand what's happening. So these challenging gods, they help push us to learn and to know more, to be adaptable, to think quickly on our feet. Mercury is, he's one of those energies that can really bring clarity to you if you really want it. And through that, and through working with that, and facing those challenges, you do find clarity. And sometimes it's it's not what we thought it would be, but it brings us clarity, and it helps us. It helps us decide what journey will be, the highest good for ourselves. Now, another one of our planets is Mars. Mars is squaring Mercury right now, and he's also trining Saturn. So he's pressuring Mercury for some information, while the establishment is persuading our messenger to limit what info he gives. So while Mercury is trining Saturn, that means it's not, it's friendly. So Saturn is wanting Mercury to kind of put a cap on, the information that he's sharing and that clarity that he's giving. But Mars is saying, oh no. Mars is I am. Mars is about freedom. It is a rebel. It goes against the grain. It's the pioneer. He goes out and sets those paths. And this is causing a little bit of turbulence in our waters. Now, the Sun and Venus will be meeting up in Libra, which is really yummy energy. But this is one of those energies that can be too passive. So we have to be very careful. This is a good, feel-good energy. And when we're feeling good, we tend to let more things slide by. We kind of, we get kind of lost in the illusion of the feel-good. So we can't get so wrapped up in our comfort that we ignore what's happening on the outside world. Mars is I am, and I want to talk about him a little bit. It's the individual that is calling out for info. So while Mars is squaring Mercury, Mars is in Gemini, which is Mercury's planet. So the problem here is that he is demanding information, but it's confusing information. There's just a lot of information that is coming out, and it's getting mixed messages. So, and that's Gemini. Gemini is, it can be, very scattered energy. It's not focused. So this is unfocused, which means your inner energy can be exhausted. So we really have to be careful with that. We have to use discernment during this time, because there's a lot of information that's coming out, a lot, and it's very confusing. It's very one way and then another, and Mars is, if he is not focused and he is not concentrating on what he's doing, this energy can be so confusing, and it just goes off in so many different streams. So we have to really be careful of that. We have to be careful of being of the quick talk, the word salads, so to speak. So Neptune, I want to talk about him because he's in this as well. He's opposing Mercury, and he's also squaring Pluto. So this is basically saying, for the healing to occur, that that the old establishment has to be released. Now remember, Libra wants harmony, but and we can't yield to extremes that we lose ourselves. We have to be very careful with that. We can't just give in order to have harmony. We have to know how to give, but respect boundaries that are there for very good reasons. This is, I will say, in part of this, from what is fully going on, this is going to impact financial endeavors as well. So if there's some new financial endeavors that you are going through, please pay very close attention to what's happening. So we get to the 9th, and this is our full moon in Aries. So this is some really intense energy. The full moon in Aries will be at 4:55 p.m. and that's Eastern Daylight Time. This is an exciting energy. It's bringing passionate emotions. It's it is bringing us back to looking at ourselves, shining the light on our emotions, our inner emotions. So when we go from here, we're going to look at the aspects. Remember that process, remember that passion goes both ways during this full moon. It can be really loving and romantic and that sort of thing, and it can go into warfare. So we have to watch out for that. So luckily the sun will be there, and the sun will be there in Libra, trying to balance all of this out. Now I will say that this moon is going to be giving us the energy to conquer our challenge. If we tap into that energy, we will be able to conquer our obstacles. Now, the moon's zodiac sign is Cancer, and Cancer can be moody, yes, but Cancer is also very protective. And I want to look at numerology really quick, because we have the Sun and Venus that are together in Libra, and the degrees that they are at equals 11. And then the moon and Chiron, as well as Jupiter, is in Aries. And their numbers, I added up their degrees, their numbers are 13. Now, 11 and 13, those are in numerology, those numbers, well, 11 is um, about, you know, you're keeping on, you are right on that. It's more of a spiritual number. Number 13 as well as that spiritual number, but I want to break it down to 6, because that's what 6 is the number of this year of 2022. And 6 is about it is a feminine number, and it is about unconditional love and that sort of thing. But it's also, you know, in the tarot, it's about give and take. It's about, you know, not giving more than you're getting back, and not taking more than you're giving. It's about learning that even energy exchange. So 6 is, you know, this, when we think about, let's think about the 6 of Wands really quick. The 6 of Wands in the rider deck, it shows this rider up on his horse, and he is being celebrated, right? But he's being celebrated because of the work that he has done. The hard work that he has done has paid off, right? When you look at the 6 of Pentacles, you'll see on the rider deck the man that's usually, you know, handing coins down to the people that look like beggars. But that's reminding you that, you know, not to be greedy, you know, and, you know, share. You know, it's always about that even energy exchange. Now, this full moon is going to be revolutionary energy. And we are in revolutionary times. We have, you know, it's not just America that's having different not riots, but protests and things like that. People in other countries, they're not burning down cities or anything like that, unless they are fighting with the police. But regardless, there are a lot of protests that are going on right now in different countries. And some of these countries, such as, you know, we can look at Iran. Iran is very, very controlled. It's very, the government is very much, you know, keeping the people under their thumb. Well, they want freedom, and that's what people want. People want freedom. They're tired of being controlled by the regime. People want freedom, and they, you know, they want to get rid of the old ways and the old laws that keep people down, that keep people, you know, they want to get away from those laws where it is, you know, there's rules for thee and not for me, where the elite is, you know, treated differently than regular people. So we're all looking at this. And in our past astrology, we have been releasing things. You know, I have, if you go back and look at my previous shows, I was talking about, you know, releasing that old part of us. And some of the things take a very long time to release over, it takes us time to release them, because they are very, very much a part of our lives. Sometimes we don't realize that. It's like, yeah, it may be toxic, but it's all I know. It takes time to change from that. And it takes that inner strength to get up and go forward and to go on to have that new, something better. So, yeah, it's just they want that, you know, release that old. And we have the South Node in Scorpio. And, you know, that's toxic relationships. That is, when someone comes to you and says, I saw you do this. Oh, no, you didn't see me do that. You just, toxic relationships, the manipulation, the mind games, gaslighting, better than, that kind of concept. We're a place in our life where, we're coming into this new age with our technology. We're at a place in our life where we can get back to nature more. We can connect to the earth, not to chemicals and stuff. We can connect to natural things, and we don't have to, that whole part of um, the being under thumb. We're coming to that different place. It's a different age. It is one of, is looking forward, and it's about advancement and, being more evolved. So we're looking out, this moon is being, the light that's shining on this moon is about the individual health as well, not just a certain group, but for the individual. What is good for that person? Now, Aries is the pioneer. So, don't remember this. Aries will go places. What is that saying? Aries will go places that angels dare tread. Aries comes out of Pisces, and Pisces is that big ocean of we are all one, we all have each other, we have one mind, we're whole. And Aries is when they step out of those waters and explore the individual self. Like, what are my thoughts? What are my feelings? What do I, what is the highest good for me? And this is looking in, it's learning to stand on our own feet. It's learning to be independent. It's learning to do things in a better way and ways that make more sense. So, yeah, there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of resilience. That's one thing that Aries, this is resilient. And you ever hear an Aries tell you that they're going to be doing that, they will be doing something, they will be doing it for sure, for sure. So learning to stand on your own feet and stand on your stone of truth. Now, I want to mention Eris, which is Aries' sister. She's in Aries and she's squaring Pluto. So here, Pluto is pretty much stationary because Pluto is going to get ready to go direct. While he is stationary, they're going to be having a square. So that's very powerful. That's assertive power. And, Eris she is one that she stands up for the underdog. She stands up for the ones that have been treated horribly, treated unfairly. She goes after that. She is about justice. She will go after the unjust. She will really cause a little bit of energy there and cause a little bit of, it could be a little bit of argumentative energy. So watch out for that. Eris there will be very proud to to really stand up because she wants justice for all. And, and she's having this aspect with Pluto. So yeah, Pluto is with Capricorn. So this is again about people standing up to the injustice that's happening to others, from governments, from places of power. So that's one of the things that's going on, one of the energies that we're having. Now, full moons are a closure, so this is a closure. After the full moon, the energy starts to wane and we go into the new cycle, which is the new moon. And with that, it is at this time we can have some revelations, because this is the height of the energy from the new moon, right? When the full moon is that, it is its brightest, it's at its peak. So this could be revelations. This could be you finding out certain things. Also, it's going to be conjunct Chiron, and Chiron is the wounded healer, and this is about healing. It's about healing the self, and it's bringing awareness to something that you may not have realized that needed healed, needed looked at. And this is also going into, with the Sun and Venus in Libra, this could also go into legal developments. So we need to watch out for that. And this is going to go into our health as well, because Chiron is here. And this can go into healing different parts of ourselves. This is a very peaceful energy. So this will be a good full moon to meditate, to really tap in to your inner self, to really feel your body, to be in your body. You know, feel your feet, feel your ankles, feel your knees, and so forth, to really, really tap in and be conscious of everything that's going on. We're feeling, and from what I'm seeing of this energy, this is going to more in of looking at ourselves in a different way, of more of changing our daily lives, of how we treat ourselves, how we take care of ourselves, the food we eat, and what we value. I've talked about this before. It's like we are getting, we're being shown that there are better things for us to be paying attention to, such as our family, the people that love us. It's not about having the biggest, baddest car, the biggest house, right? It's about having our close and connected relationships that that encourage us to evolve and to expand. And if you don't have like-minded people and friends around you, please, I urge you to find them, because they help. This helps. We need to be in situations that feed us, not drain us, not just constantly pull from us with no real. And it depends on what you're doing, because there's a lot of charity work that is not really monetary gaining, but it is about, fulfilling the heart. That's not, that is a totally different thing than what I'm talking about. When we are doing things that's helping other people that really want it and need it, and that's the thing, when people want help, that's the only way you can help them, is when they're actually willing to do that work for themselves. So that is different, but I'm talking about, just burning our energy, just being in places that drain us, and just, it's not really healthy for us. So this is an energy of peace, and it is really one that, when you meditate on peace. It is time to be the co-creators that we are in this world. It's time. It's not getting ready. It's time. It's time. So, and we, co-create. We use astrology to co-create. When we're looking at astrology, we're looking at cycles. Okay, this is happening now. If we look back when did this happen again? Okay, well, that was 12 years ago in April. What was happening then? Like I do in other episodes where I go back to a certain time period, what was going on during that time period. This is all very important stuff. And I say, I do feel that our finance is going to start taking a turn as well. Uranus in Taurus, that is about our finances. Venus is about our finances, and she's in Libra. And then we also have our South Node that's in um, Scorpio, and that can be related to our finances as well. But that is more, when you're looking at Scorpio, that's going to be more of your secret, like your backroom deals. And that's really one thing that's really being highlighted in astrology. And we talk about the old ways, and we talk about, it's the releasing the old establishment. That is what it is going on, is about releasing, getting past the old ways. There are some ways that work, there are some ways that are great, but there are many that do not. Money has become more valuable than actual human life, and that is unbearable. We can see this around the world. We can see what's going on in different countries as far as, of how different countries treat their people. So we do have some planets going direct, and I want to go over these because we are entering October, and October is eclipse season. So Mercury went direct on October the 2nd. Pluto goes direct on November the 8th. And then Saturn will go direct on on October the 23rd. So, and it will be March when Saturn moves into Pisces, and Pluto will be moving into Aquarius in March, and that's in 2023. So Pluto is going to be carrying the energy of Capricorn, and Saturn is still going to be carrying that energy of Capricorn. So now, this is big change energy with these planets going direct. That is going to cause some big changes. I will say that, remember the bigger picture. Always remember the bigger picture. Don't get caught up into a lot of the stuff that's going on. Remember to find your truth. Don't let that. Mars will be going retrograde on the 30th of October, and he's going to be staying in Gemini. So be careful. There'll be a lot of confusing energy, information coming to us. It will confuse us. It will make us scatterbrain. It could get to, you don't know which way to go because you don't know which way to believe. Pluto is going to, he's at 26 degrees of Capricorn. So that's going to be, when he goes direct, it's going to be a very big push for control. So that is after the 8th of November. So we can watch for those places of power to make more pushes for control. It is going to be one of, and it's going to be assertive power. This is going to be going, and this is all over the world. This is not the United States alone. This is going to be, it's about the governments or those in power asserting asserting their will. So be very discerning. It is a really good time. This is my favorite word, is discernment. Please use discernment. Pay attention to what's going on. On the 25th of October, we're going to have a solar eclipse. So this is about drastic, permanent change. Like I said, October is opening us up to the eclipse season. So we'll have that solar eclipse on the 25th, and then on the 8th we will have that lunar eclipse. So this eclipse axis will affect our financial area. Again, this is why I'm saying I'm really feeling that it is going to be our financial field that's going to be hit. There's going to be a change in that. Trying to push for that. So Mars will be in Gemini until March of 2023. So, I mean, this is great. Mars in Gemini is great for mental energy. It really is. But again, it can be so scattered. It does enhance information that is coming to us. So, and when it squares Mercury, that means information is going to multiply, okay? And it could be almost like a mental obsession. There's going to be a lot of mental manipulation, words used, things like that. So pay attention to that. When we have the Mercury and Neptune, that's great for creativity. But, you know, Neptune, again, it's great for creating, but it's not good for clarity. We think about Neptune, we have to think that Neptune, its planet is Pisces, and those waters go very, very deep. And this is, you know, it's always, I call Neptune, it's the Hollywood of the planets. So it has that kind of energy. Mars will add energy to this. So this fog, so we have to really be careful. And this energy is going to be going through the end of October. So there are times that we can have some of the fogginess and whatever. Again, good ground yourself. You're feeling anxious, you're feeling just unsure, go spend some time out in nature. If nothing else, walk barefoot on some grass. That's good. Shoot, there's times I have to lay on the ground and just, you know, melt into the ground to ground. Mercury aspected by Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. So this is really digging deep for truth. And I really feel that that is going to be one of the biggest things, as well as it's going to be going into wanting that clarity and going that extra mile to find that clarity. Now, when we have for this moon, we also are going to have Jupiter opposing Mercury. Now, Jupiter is about big dreams, and this is about big dreams for the future. But Mercury is having these great big wannabes, and we have the energy to go through with it. But, you know, we have to be careful, and we have to make sure that what we're doing is not going overboard. Jupiter, you can go overboard, especially with Jupiter in Aries. That energy can go overboard very quick. So you have to be careful with that. We also have to remember, with Mercury opposing Jupiter, this again is more information coming in. Mercury is the messenger. He's about information. He's about the flow of information. He's also the one about commerce. So not everything that you see is truth. When everybody knows, especially if you've done any kind of recording or anything at all, voice, video, you can fix that that people can say anything that you want them to say. So we have to be very, very careful. Make sure you are using objectivity and discernment. That's going to be very, very important. Remember what energy you're putting out. That matters. It's not some woo-woo thing. The energy, your thoughts, your feelings, that's energy that's coming forth from you. Make sure what you're putting out, be co-creator and use this astrology and co-create with us. This energy is there for us to help. We can use this energy to make things better, but we have to be mindful. We have to be in all aspects. And when we think about this, let's think about a radio. I know many of us probably don't listen to the radio anymore, but when you're changing stations, not anymore, you push the seek button and it finds it. But in the old days, you had to turn the knob, right? And then you would get to that station, and then, you would be turning it. You're right on the frequency. Oh, you got it. You hit jackpot, right? And you hear that. This is the same thing. This is the same thing. It's that simple. So, the sun, I do want to mention one thing. The sun is having a quincunx with Uranus, and that is good energy. It's really shining light on the financial systems. It really is. There's many alliances that are being formed for people right now in the different sections. There's alliances being formed for our financial. There's also alliances being formed for our food. There's these different alliances that are coming into play because they're trying to preserve humanity. They're trying to preserve our food and so forth. So that is good, and that supports that. This is, these alliances are based on community systems. So I feel that. I feel like there are more communities that are starting to come together. People are realizing that, we're humans and we do need other people. And I know that there's a lot of people that go through life with, they can be alone, but we do need people. We need community. And, I feel that humanity is starting to come back to mama. And I think that energy is really showing through astrology, and it's making us look at things in a different light. It's making us really, really question what we thought was right and what is best for our highest good, and not about healing the self, eating better, dressing better, exercising, taking better care of ourselves. And then also, what about our environment? Well, we have to care for our environment too. In order for us to be healthy, we have to have a healthy environment and so forth. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. Again, October and November is going to be the crescendo of this year of the energy. And I will say, don't get caught up in craziness, chaos. Pay attention, use discernment, be objective. Also, pay attention to your emotions and pay attention to your thoughts. That is going to be key in this. And I do break down things differently, and I talk about individual aspects that are going on, or what's happening to individual planets on my Spotify and YouTube. I can't cover everything on these shows. I wish I could. But I just wanted to, on these shows, I like to give a highlight of the energy that I see that it is unfolding, that's really unfolding before us, that we need to look at. If you will follow me on Spotify, it's on Inner Wisdom. And I do the AstroTarot Show on there as well. After, of course, after it is aired on Fringetv.online. I do put all of the stuff on there in case you missed it. But, feel free to follow me. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. You can email me at theowlseer@gmail.com. It's THESEER. I'm sorry, THEOWLSEER@gmail.com. The Owl Seer. Oh my goodness. Anyway, a lot of talking I've done, so I'm going to sign off now. Remember, stay tuned for the tarot divination part of the reading. You don't want to miss that because it always lines up. It always takes the astrology just a little bit deeper. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see what the cards say. Blessings.